Oh my goodness. This is going to be a fun video. Prepare for a rant. That's right. I'm going to rant in this KRV. I think I know TNP Knife Nation, and I suspect in the comments, guys will say, we love it when you rant. Do it more. More rants, more rants, more rants. I hear you, dudes, and maybe I will. Maybe I will. I do try to keep the show positive. I really do. I don't want to come across as a gear elitist. I'm not. I'm open-minded, but I have a very consistent philosophy, blah, 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 all that. But occasionally, actually frequently, I read and see things in FaceTube, online blogs, magazines that is, I'm sorry, it's just over the top. And I just can't stand it. And so some of that is going to bleed over into this KRV on the outstanding, actually, Cold Steel Pro-Lite Tanto. It is $21 in Amazon. 21 bucks. 21. Remember that because it is going to be key to my review and key to me picking apart this guy's comment. That's right. If I see your comment, you are subject to a Nutnfancy Rant from here on out. Okay, hey, and I'm open to different opinions. I'm not saying that I'm not open to other opinions. There's, one guy will look at this Opinel number 8 and go, I hate that knife. And the other guy will go, well, I love it. I do find, and this is an Amazon comment, I do find in Amazon that a lot of the stuff I see is pretty much garbage. The reviews are not good. There are some good ones. But man, I see some stuff that is off. Okay, so you've been forewarned. I will rant. I'll try to not make it too long. I'm going to read this dude's comment in its entirety. And by the way, I'm not ranting about the blade. I love the blade. I'm ranting about his criticism of the blade and his expectations. Dude writes, and I'll probably scroll across the screen somehow. Firstly, and I'll read this with some attitude because it's funnier that way. Firstly, Cold Steel has really disappointed me because they are using cheap Taiwanese blades and plastic handles. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I can't take it. Cold Steel's really disappointed you in a $21 knife, bro? What were you expecting? Are you expecting S30V? CPM 154? Are you expecting a milled G10 handle for $21? Your expectations are out of line. People like you irritate me because you expect that your money's more important than anybody else's. That for my $21 or whatever you paid when you bought it, I should get more for my money. Should you get a Spyderco Domino for your $21? Is that what you're saying? Oh, by the way, this is produced in Taiwan and it was $200. Is this cheap? Cheap Taiwanese steel? It's XHP. It's made in Taiwan. You're broad stroking it. You're making a generalization. You're saying stuff made in Taiwan with your opening statement is garbage. Isn't that what you're insinuating? How many blades have I shown you on the table that are made in China or Taiwan? Lots. How many are awesome? Lots. Doesn't matter where it's made. It matters about materials and quality control. Insert other rants. Freaking A, man. It doesn't matter where it's made. Cheap. It really disappointed me because you're using cheap Taiwanese blades and plastic handles. The plastic on the grip is rough around all the edges and is much too flexible to be durable. Really? I don't think so at all. I don't even know where you're getting that. First, let's look at his first criticism. It's rough around the edges. This will be my handle review, by the way, on the knife. I ain't seen it, dude. I ain't seen it. It looks pretty well cast to me. Smooth. There's no rust spots. Seems to be adequately stiff. Yep, for an EDC knife, very stiff. Thankfully, no steel liners. You don't need them. How many times have I said that in a KRV? You don't. Whoever designed this knife says, you know what? No steel liners, don't need them. And they made it weigh 3.2 ounces. I see it to be a great FRN handle. And this beautiful blue, by the way, my favorite coloration. Hopefully you can still find those blues. Use my link below, probably in Amazon. And I will hit that again here in a second. What are you talking about, dude? It's much too flexible to be durable. It makes me wonder if you've even used knives before. Have you used FRN and plastic handle knives before? Do you also think Glocks are garbage? You remind me of guys in the late 80s when the Glocks came out and said, this gun will never last. It's made out of plastic. Well, that argument got solved, didn't it? You sound like the same type of dude, man. You don't like plastic. Okay? Like many have said, the spine lock is difficult to close. But that's the best part about it because it seems to be the most durable part of the knife. That's a run-on sentence. We'll ignore that, though. Okay, so you like the triad lock. Okay, half a point to you for that because it is awesome. This is a triad lock folding knife by Andrew Demko. And it's $21. Did I mention that? It's $21. That's a good value. Triad locks are awesome. Go watch Cold Steel testing the locks, and they show you what it can do. Overstrike tests, strength tests. You have to mill out a big section of the blade back here to make it fit. That is a downside to me because we have less material here. I've always said that in my triad lock knife reviews. But what you get in return is a lock mechanism that self-adjusts as it wears. And it's extremely strong. Proven in my own batoning tests with cold steel knives. Thank you.
Folding knife.
Thank you.
Triad.
It's an awesome knife, dude. Triad lock is awesome. Oh, he said it's really difficult to close, a spine lock. Let's look at that. And there's another reviewer that said the same thing. He said, well, let me check this out. It's just a standard triad lock back. It's a little bit more force, but I'm not really finding it a problem. And is it just because I have ultimate hand strength? No, trust me, I don't. I don't know what he's talking about. I mean, a little bit hard to depress, but dude, I got no problem with it. And then he goes, it's pointless though because it is put on a cheap folding knife. So you're making a blanket statement without any true evidence, says me. Not worth $30 and certainly not worth the $7 I had to pay to return it. He said $6.99. How did you have to pay anything to return it? The reason I send guys to Amazon is because usually, if you're a Prime member, you get free returns. Worth the annual cost. It's easy, no hassles. You can print out a shipping label on Amazon, look at the knife, send it. Maybe this particular vendor had that policy. I don't know. That being said, I'm going back with his comment. I love this part. If you know nothing about knives and are looking to get into them, this knife could get you an okay start. Oh my gosh, bro, could you be more elitist and douchey? You are basically insinuating that anybody that would buy a cold steel Pro-Lite Tanto is a fool, and that you, my friend, are the true expert. And by the way, I see this type of attitude across the board everywhere. Everywhere. Especially when a guy is defending his own purchase. Go back to my video, type and brand myopia. Dude, I posted that in 2008. Nothing's changed. And you're seeing it in this guy's comment right there. How about you don't insult people who buy the knife, give an objective, heck, even subjective criticism on the blade, but you don't have to go insult people who like it. Amazing. Amazing. He goes, I guess a positive thing. A sharp edge and a good look can't be denied, but still not what I expect from cold steel. Hey bro, it's $21. It's not $200. Okay, it's $21, and again, you have unrealistic expectations, and your blanket criticism against those things made in China and Taiwan, I'm sorry, you're just not living in reality. Are you also going to go to the Amazon page of this knife, the Spyderco Tenacious? Are you going to rail against it? 8CR13 MOV, competitive option for this knife. Where's this made? Oh, China. China. Of course it's made in China. If it wasn't, it would be like 4 times the price. That's why they went to China to source this one. That Camilla's Heat, dudes. Taiwan. This is a Taiwanese produced blade. Look. Osate steel. Is this cheap? I already showed you that domino, right? Is this cheap? I could go on all day, dudes. Look. How about, what is this? The Metallark? The Bird Metallark? Value line of Spyderco? Oh my goodness. 8CR13 MOV. Let's see where this is made. What do you know? China. A lot of their blades are made in Taiwan and China. Spyderco. Spyderco. Same with CRKT. A lot of them are. You go to those pages, say the same thing. Hey, this is offshore. It's garbage. How about this one? The Rat 2. Osate steel. I'm sorry. This is a Rat 2. Let's see where that's made. What does that say right there? Oh, Taiwan. Taiwan. See, dude, you just honestly don't know what you're talking about. That you did a blanket criticism against those things from China and Taiwan. It's okay to be pro-US produced. I'm not saying that. I've given so much positive video time to those knives that get it right, especially when it comes down to value formula. I will continue to do so. But at the same time, I'm not going to criticize something just because it's made in Taiwan. Not when dude is trying to outfit his systems and he doesn't have $100 to go out and spend on a knife. He doesn't have $200 to go out and spend on a Taiwanese produced, actually, Spyderco Domino. Maybe he does have $21 for a Prolite. Rant complete. Ah, felt so good. Felt so good. Actually, I may still rant a little bit more. Oh, and I could keep going, dudes. You should ask the crew about my off-camera rants. It just... I mean, I try not to get too negative, even in my life, but sometimes it's got to come out. So here's another comment. Dude, right below him, Vegas Dave was his name in Amazon. I cut the name off in my printed form of the other guy. So he's anonymous. You'll see him in the screen roll. I don't really care. Overall, I'm happy with this knife. It fills the role I need, which is a light, easy to carry, and yet capable EDC knife. I like his start. Then he lists pros. It's very light for its size. The handle's ergonomic for me. It has enough texture to make it grippy enough, but not too aggressive. Blade steel and build quality is not exceptional, but good enough at this price point. Now that is a reasonable statement. Deployment is fairly stiff. This is not a knife that can be flipped open with a thumb flick. What? The back lock or triad lock is very stiff and hard to unlock. Doing it a few times will leave you with a sore thumb. What? I think Cold Steel designed it that way as a strength feature, though. I would like it a bit weaker in reality. No need for that to be hard, in my opinion. Actually, I still don't mind his comment, but let's look at what he said. He goes, well, I can't flick it open. Let's see if he's right. And remember, this is with gloves, which makes deploying a folding knife much harder. Let's check it out. Maybe I just got lucky. Seems like I can disengage it. Okay. I'm giving it a little bit of wrist action for sure. It is a triad lock though, right? So it is a strong lock. I need a little bit more technique to pop it open. But from that last dude's comment, he says you can't do it. You cannot thumb flick it open. Let me see if it'll do a reverse deployment. That even worked. I have to do that off camera because I don't have enough room. Basically, what I'm doing is just shaking it. It has great retention. Look at the retention of the triad. So that's an upside. It's not going to come out in your whatever fanny pack and cut you a la Tenacious. And yet, shakes out readily. Well played. I don't see it being a problem for a triad lock. Sure, there's faster knives, flippers, thumb stud, liner locks, for sure. I mean, the Rat 1 right here, it's going to be faster because I'm not having to overcome that resistance to deploy it. I don't need much wrist action at all for this knife. By the way, made in China. Wah, wah. This one's coated. Dura-coated, this one. For sure, yeah, but sorry, dude, I'm going to disagree with you as well. I don't think it's that hard to get out if you use a little bit of technique and you kind of have a little bit of practice. Next guy says, it was 30 bucks with Prime. I challenge anyone to name a better knife for that money. Extremely light and tough for the price. If you need a beast that you're going to use every day, I recommend this one, a great value. Agree with you. Carlos Bravo is the dude's name. Rock solid lockup with no blade play. Not a fast deploying blade for sure. Actually it is. I just proved it. Nor is the blade easy to close. Disagree with that. Sorry. But if you want a blade lock that won't fail, then this is it. Sharp out of box, and I beat this thing to death. Well worth the sum paid. My Spydercos and Benchmates don't perform this well based on the dollar factor. Well said. It's a primary carry piece for me. I love Cold Steel for the price point for sure. Good product for a great price. Done with comments. And I agreed with his comment. I mean, I thought that was really excellent. Whew, this is a fun review, dudes. Sorry, man. Are you still here? You still watching? 15 minutes. I haven't really got to all these details of the knife. Rant more, rant more, rant more, Nutnfancy. Yeah, you love it. There's a lot of guys that get totally pissed when I go on rants. They're like, oh, you think you don't know? I can't believe. Whatever, dude. We all have our preferences. I think mine are founded in pretty good logic, though. The points I've made so far in this knife, I think they're truth. They're total truth. Let's jump into philosophy of use. What would you use a Pro-Lite Tanto for? A collectible? Do you want a $21 collectible? Like that one dude, I expected more from cold steel. Well, go out and spend $300, bro. Yeah, there's lots of expensive, awesome knives out there. Let me see if I have one. Go out, and here's one right here. How about you go get a used Microtech SOCOM on the secondary market, pay the price, and enjoy. You won't be disappointed with that knife. If you are, you're insane. Insane. This knife is awesome. Oh yeah, it's about 10 times the price too. Actually, over that, this thing has gone up in value. Production date 2/12. Serial number 00656. Sick! Sick! That's a sick alarm. Sick! I ought to start doing that more often. Sick! That means something's like totally awesome. Yeah, philosophy of use is obviously a user knife. Did I mention it's $21? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, it's a user knife, and so you don't care if it gets beat up. Use it. Abuse it. You're laying carpets, use your Prolite Tanto to cut with. That's what it's for. It could be a good kit knife because it is so inexpensive you could integrate it into some BOK. Yeah, maybe your fishing box. That's what it is. Not a tactical blade. I wouldn't use it for that. Size, weight, and feel are excellent. I'm impressed with them. 3.2 ounces. I did say that. The feel is excellent. We looked at the handle. I think it nestles in your hand just fine. I don't find any hot spots. Although I didn't hard use it, maybe I'd change my mind if I cut cardboard with it for 8 hours. I could change my mind. I don't use my knives that way. I've told you what I use. Do you remember? The Sheffield utility knife. Oh, that's what I use. Yeah, so if I have hard cutting, like cardboard, I use this because I can pop the blade out. It's basically a function of time for me. So I could totally use that, but now I've got to go sharpen it, and that's time. And time is always short in my life running the project and many other things. Very difficult. Anyways, there you go. Feels excellent. Size, it's small. I think it's relatively slender. Let's compare it against a Tenacious. Here we go. Blue Tenacious. Where's this made again? I think I remember. C122. Oh yeah, China. That's right. That's right. So anyways, I'm just being kind of funny here, dudes. Kind of is right, Nutton. Kind of is right. A little bit fatter, but still pretty slender, easy to carry. Speed we've demonstrated. Lockup we've talked about. There is no movement. It is Triad, bro. Triad is awesome. I love Triad. Let's look at centering. I already showed you retention, right? It's a pretty thick blade, actually, for what it is. I wrote it down here. I think it's 3 millimeters. There you go. It's a thick blade at 3 millimeters. Centering is good. Will it ever get out of whack? And you won't be able to center it up again? You'll have rubbing? Who knows? Go ask the owl. I don't know. Probably. Who knows? It's 21 bucks, dude. Who cares? Handle construction I've talked about. Lanyard hole, though. Really sweet lanyard hole. And then we have a reversible clip. And it's a single clip. I like it when Cold Steel does this so they don't curve it, so they don't have to include 2 clips for left and right users. I should say left and right handed users. So it's reversible and thankfully, as God intended, tip up. 3 screws, screwing it in there. So it's going to be a strong clip. A little bit protruding so it's not ultimately deep carry. I like it. Didn't really look at the blade shape yet officially. It is a Tanto, stone washed, 4116 steel, which I think of as VG10, bro. I really do. I think 4116 is like VG10. Great rust resistance, easy enough to sharpen, bringing out a wicked edge on it, by the way. It sharpens very nicely, but kind of a softer stainless steel. It's a price point steel, which is why when I see a VG10 knife that is charging a lot of money, sometimes I have a problem with it. Witness the Almar Nomad. Go check out my review on that knife. That's VG10. Thing is like, what, $225 or something? I love the knife because of everything else. But dang, son, VG10? This should be S30, S90 for this price. I said it in a review. Oh, that was probably another rant. I guess I do rant here and there. I like the handle construction. It is a little bit slick. It does not have that molded in traction that you would see on a Volcano grip a la Spyderco. There's a Delica. Coated by us in the shop. So that's sky blue. This is Cerakote with like titanium coloration. super cool. But I love the traction of the Spyderco. So you don't have it here, but how easy would it be to just put a section of skateboard tape right here? And then you can get it out of your pocket, no problem. Clip design, durability, I think will be phenomenal. I really don't know what that dude's talking about. It's going to be a cheap knife. I expected more from Cold Steel. We'll write him a letter, man. I think Cold Steel is cutting edge. I've always said that. They come out with more cool designs, I think, than any other knife manufacturer. They don't run away with a Marshall blade craft. I like that. They actually test their blades. I mean, really test their blades. I like that. I've always been a Cold Steel fan. I've always defended them for what they do. And no, I'm not in their pocket. They don't pay me a dime. They don't even know I'm doing this review. Did I mention this is $21? Holy cow. Just buy one. Start thumping on it. I mean, the penetration capability of that Tanto tip, if you need it, great. Hollow ground, by the way, I did not mention that. A flat here and a removable thumb stud, which Cold Steel always does. So it makes it so easy to use a consistent angle sharpener to get that edge back. And I did not do a card cutting test. Let's just do that. Who knows how it will do. Oh my gosh. It's like a freaking scalpel. I can't believe the cheap Taiwanese blades that Cold Steel is putting in their knives. Oh my gosh, I expect so much more. Okay, whatever, dude. Competitive options. You can go with the bird lineup for sure. Those are good knives, although I don't really like the bird eye hole no more. I actually hate it. There, I said it. I think it's ridiculous. I don't carry them ever. Tenacious, you can never go wrong with that. It's actually basically the same knife, just a different design. Beautiful leaf blade shape, Spyderco hole. And by the way, these have the advantage of being waved from the pocket. Good luck finding a Camilla's Heat. Actually, they may have brought this back. I didn't check. This is a great knife. Oh, and by the way, on the table we have the Luminox diver in a very cool one-piece olive drab strap, which completely transformed that watch, dude. Completely. And then my heavily used, at least one of them, Leatherman S2 Juice. Patches, very cool patches, Nutnfancy Big Cartel, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, competitive options. Heat, that's cool. What else do I have? Oh, I showed you the rats. The rats are always awesome. Everybody I know, TMPer that I know that's either bought the Rat 1 or Rat 2, just go, oh my gosh, that's such a great knife. I'll put all these Amazon links below. Maybe one or two for our friends at Blade HQ. Go check it out, man. It's amazing. Oh, another one, and this, speaking of Chinese produced, is the Inland EL06. Man, I love this knife. Oh, that's made in China. An homage to, I don't know, Sabenza, but not really. It's different in so many different ways. It just has kind of the same blade shape. This is basically the same price. You cannot go wrong with an EL06 or any of the Inlands. Here's a Desert Digital Camo one. And I've been giving these away to TMP Patreon members, among other things like watches and expensive knives I bought for the project. Join up, dudes. Join up. Support the rant of the Nutnfancy project. The bottom line is, dudes, the Cold Steel Pro-Lite Tanto is an amazing value. Yes, even with 4116 German, not Taiwanese, Krupp steel, it's a great knife. Super strong. It looks good. It deploys adequately fast. It has a great lockup. No steel liners. Ambidextrous in function. You could swap over this thumb stud if you're a lefty. Triad lock. Win. Rant complete.